Good morning, everyone. It's really early, so you have to turn up your volume because I'm the only one awake in my house. Because season opens Saturday here in Colorado for turkey, and we're getting ready to go scout, and that's what we're going to talk about this morning is scouting. So, we're a little over a week into this series now, and if you've been following along, you've noticed a theme. Calls don't kill birds. Decoys don't kill birds. Gear doesn't kill birds. Not every animal can kill birds. What kills birds is knowledge. And nothing builds that knowledge faster or more effectively than out there scouting. Today, I'm going to talk about preseason scouting because I genuinely believe it's the single most underrated part of scouting and turkey hunting. Not the most glamorous, not the most fun to post about, but the most important thing you can do before opening morning. So here's what most hunters do. They show up opening morning, they find a likely looking piece of woods, they set up somewhere that feels good, and they start calling. And don't get me wrong, sometimes that works. But more often than not, they're hunting hope instead of hunting information. And hope is a terrible strategy in the turkey woods. Scouting is how you replace hope with knowledge. What you're looking for in the weeks before season is evidence of where birds are living, not just passing through. There's a difference. A turkey track on a logging road tells you a bird walked there. A strut zone with drag marks in the dirt, feathers, and droppings tells you a tom is spending real time in that area. A roost site with feathers and droppings concentrated under a large group of trees tells you where birds are starting and ending their day. Those are the pieces of information that change everything about how you set up and where you put yourself on opening morning. Start with aerial maps, topography maps, onX, before you ever set foot in the woods. Look for those transition zones, those riparian zones, field edges with creek bottoms near, with ridge lines near, with open areas adjacent to timber. Turkeys are creatures of habit, and they move through the landscape in predictable ways based on food, cover, and breeding activity. Understanding the terrain before you walk into any place makes your time on the ground much more efficient. So get in there, walk the ground, cover ground, look for the sign, pay attention to where you're hearing birds in the early morning, where you're seeing them in the afternoons, where you're hearing them in the evening. A gobble at first light tells you where a bird is roosting, along with tree yelps and fly down cackles. Where he flies down, where he goes after that tells you where he wants to be. And watch that pattern over multiple mornings, and you start to build a picture of his routine. That picture is worth, more than any call you'll own or any piece of gear you'll own. It is worth more than any decoy spread that you put together. Because when you know where a bird wants to be, you can be there first and let him come to you instead of you trying to convince him to come somewhere he doesn't want to go. I've had many mornings where I never made a single sound on a call and killed a bird before 7 a.m. because I had done the work in the weeks before and I knew exactly where he was going to be. That's not luck. That's scouting and knowing the bird. We will get into more specifics in the next few days of reading sign, finding roost sites, strut zones. But today I just want to make the case for why this matters more than almost anything else we have talked about this week. So do the work before season. It'll change everything. Study the bird, know the bird, and you'll be successful in the turkey woods. Thanks.